so hard. Tell me what you do now. Dive deeper, dive deeper, yeah. Dive deeper, dive with me, yeah. I know we could fly if we just tried. If we just tried. So come on, baby, dive deeper, dive deeper, yeah. Dive deeper, dive with me, yeah. I know we could fly if we just try, baby, try, try, try. Know what I got, know what I want. Boy, don't get me wrong, sure we're having fun, but it don't mean that I'm in love. I like you a lot, but you gotta step up. I'm through trying to tell you what to do, how to make me fall for you. You should learn that on your own. I'll play cool, cause I hope you pick it up soon, and you know just what to do. Don't you? Boy, just be honest. I know you want it. Put some work into it, cause you know that I'm hard to love. It won't be easy, so don't be lazy. Just give it to me, cause you know that I'm hard to love. I'm hard to love. Boy, you know that I'm hard to love. I'm hard to love. Boy, you know that I'm hard to love. I'm not being mean, I'm just being me. I don't make it easy, but I'm worth a while. All that I ask is for you to please my every need, to put in the time. I'm through trying to tell you what to do, how to make me fall for you. You should learn that on your own. I'll play cool, cause I hope you pick it up soon, and you know just what to do. Don't you? Boy, just be honest. I know you want it. Put some work into it, cause you know that I'm hard to love. It won't be easy, so don't be lazy. Just give it to me, cause you know that I'm hard to love. I'm hard to love. Boy, you know that I'm hard to love. I'm hard to love. Boy, you know that I'm hard to love. I'm hard to love. Boy, you know that I'm hard to love. I'm hard to love. Boy, you know that I'm hard to love. I'm through trying to tell you what to do, how to make me fall for you. You should learn that on your own. I'll play cool, cause I hope you pick it up soon, and you know just what to do. Don't you? Boy, just be honest. I know you want it. Put some work into it, cause you know that I'm hard to love. It won't be easy, so don't be lazy. Just give it to me, cause you know that I'm hard to love. I'm hard to love. Boy, you know that I'm hard to love. I'm hard to love. Boy, you know that I'm hard to love. I'm hard to love. Boy, you know that I'm hard to love. I'm hard to love. Boy, you know that I'm hard to love. I'm hard to love. Want it easy, want it badly, but I can get what I want. Too much pressure, too much pleasure, but not much to rely on. Your love ain't free, it's killing me. I want it to end all, cause I've been trying, I've been.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch,
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our
our
work
work.
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the
How much longer can you hide? You can try and push away from me.
Good morning and welcome back to Windmill. We're here in Amsterdam and we're pretty happy to be here, I'll tell you that much. We hope you are too. Thanks for joining ULTI.TV. I'm Stef Pazzo and I'm here this time with Jamie Rabbits. Jamie, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you, Steph. Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you in here. We had Jamie's first look last week at EBUCC, slotting in for some commentary. We love to have him, have his insights. Of course, if his hamstring was firing on all cylinders, he might well have been out there playing with Devon this time around and coaching as well. Yeah,
a bit of multitasking this weekend. I've done a part of sidelining for Devon. Time for some commentary now, and I'm sure I'll get around to some coaching later. So.
All right, jack of all trades. We're gonna diversify you too and use you for some commentary, some stats over the weekend. So versatility is the key for Jamie Rabbits. Jamie, this game here, we've got the Fusion Falcons Ultimate Club. If you would. If you were to spell out what that acronym said, against Germany Mixed. So, yeah, what do you know off the bat about either of these two clubs?
So I definitely know more about Germany Mixed. I know that they are one of the favorites for this tournament, definitely expecting to be battling for those top spots. But the exciting thing about Fusion Falcons is they're really an unknown. We don't know what they're going to bring to the table here, and we could have a really exciting game on our hands. Often the Colombian teams bring that exciting style of play, so hopefully we can see some of that.
Yeah, you're too right about that. The Fusion Falcons, they were third place finishers at their regionals last weekend. They were 8th place at nationals, but they said they're a team that's just getting bigger and better as they go. They've got 24 here, and they said easily another 24 back home. They say they play a unselfish style, but very Colombian style. They like to move the disc, move the angle of attack as frequently as possible. And as we all have come to know with the Colombians, they are just fast, fiery, and play with a lot of passion.
They've got way too much of their body covered for my liking in this weather.
Oh, good God, Rabbits. I could not even imagine long sleeves and pants, but they are opting for that on many of their player sets across the board. This Amsterdam Windmill music is very long in between points, but there we hear the Herbie horn and the pull. That is not the best start to the game if you're Fusion Falcons. And Germany Mixed to pick up. Metzger gets to Walczak. Then to the 55 shirt. Boom, 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 but not in. It's led too far through Hugin and goes to turn. Couldn't connect with Beek.
Yeah, perhaps just a bit of that first game, getting that out of the system, get that movement going. I'm sure we will see this German O-line dial it in as the game goes on. But an opportunity here for Fusion Falcons to make something happen.
First point break would be nice, especially after a subpar pull kicked things off, but they've got a chance now. Fusion Falcons playing from their own end. Rico goes up line, gets to Prieto. Around and in, that's Saldana. And they're really working that far sideline. Germany putting a good force to keep their open side very narrow right now. And there's a shot for goal. Looks like it's going to count. It does. Not in for goal. My apologies. They're still playing.
Really good movement here from the Colombians. Just nice patience, taking what they're given on the downfield. You notice some of the German defenders are pushing their players underneath, and some are pushing them deep, and the Colombians are really able to punish that at the moment.
This being a break line is showing exceptional patience for a defensive unit. And now a high stall count in their own end, and he has to just flub that one right into Metzger, who's a defender.
Yeah, and Levke straight on the charge here, and another rushed offense from the Germans.
Yeah, the Germans taking their time to be able to click right now, too. This is First game of the tournament, first couple minutes of the game, and this is, and we see it again. The turns here, I think this long point here goes to favor Fusion Falcon for the point and for the game too. If you can extend, if you can get a break on a very long first point, it could go a long way in a short game.
Even if you don't get the break, just that confidence that you can really put pressure on the opposing O-line is a big boost at the start of the game.
Yes, surely one of the best O-lines in the world should be the expectation here, and making them have 3-4 tries at it. Metzger goes deep. Walzak all alone. She's all alone as she is when she camps at night and sets up her hammock between two trees.
Yeah, absolutely wide open there in the end. A great defensive point from Fusion Falcons. They can't be disappointed with that. They just need to continue to channel that through the rest of the game.
Yeah, they're going to get their first look to have an O-line out there coming up in just a few seconds in between points here. But, yeah, German O-line, we're a little bit rusty there. They had to shake off the rust. They didn't do it smoothly, but they did it. The last point there, the nice wide open shot that had to be taken. But, yeah, a whole lot of error to start this game off.
I'm sure they'll all be going away, having a mental reset, and I imagine we're going to see some real clinical offense from them the next couple of points. They won't want to be making those sort of mistakes again anytime soon.
Yeah, it's certainly not throughout the weekend. We see Diekman on the sideline, Danger, of course, as he's called, with a cast on the right hand, so he is out. That's an injury that's recently happened. Torben Hornschmeyer as well, not playing this game with a tweaked hamstring, but may be available for use later in the tournament. That is a exceptional pull.
Troutman there with the pull.
Troutman, of course, coming off another great campaign with German mixed in that World Games campaign. But here is Fusion Falcons first asking. Get a whole handful of Thyssen defense there. Thyssen and Newbert. Oh, and a great step in front, a call there, and I think a justified call. Yeah, the contact came with the D.
Like to see those sort of aggressive plays early and not too much contact, but yeah, enough to warrant the foul.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see some of those clean later on.
Troutman, and easily weighted in for the first break. Troutman to Erdmann there, and Germany a little tidier with their next break chance than they were with their first hold chance.
Yes, D-line will be very happy with that one, showing the O-line how it's done. So
that's exactly it. That's a little D-line coming off saying, okay, well, we did it a lot easier than you guys, and you guys are supposed to be the efficient scorers here. What's going on? Setting up the good banter between the two lines, which is always a great little internal battle between families.
yeah, definitely. And Germany here have the luxury of being able to just bring an entirely new D-line on with the big roster they've brought to the tournament.
Yeah, so again, that's 24 Lena Troutman with the assist to 35 Joanna Erdmann for the first break of the game for the Germans. So how many windmills have you been to, Rabbits?
This is my second windmill. The first one was actually back in 2018. I played with Reading Ultimate in the run-up to the WUC cycle, so it was a bit more of a serious occasion for me that time. Not too much partying, trying to do quite well, and we did on that occasion manage to beat the Hrut side that ended up winning the tournament, but fell to a Herschlicker Erdferkel in the quarters. So bit of a strange tournament, but.
Love to see that parity in a tournament, though, where
Yes.
the champions can lose early in the tournaments to contenders all across the board. Smacked away, and Turk of his disconnection club days knocks that one away and gives the German national team another chance to break early days here. 14 shirt, that's looking. He goes to Newbert. Newbert inside break now, wide and around, and that is the huge frame of Bletchel, who gets up and takes that one down. I think that is a body that they can use for a whole bunch of end zone conversion. You'd know a thing or two about that, Rabbits.
Yeah, I love that sort of Frisbee right there. Just fling it up in the air and let the tall man go catch it. That's my type of Frisbee.
Chuck 'em pie. Of course, I never got that pie chucked my direction when I ran to the end zone, but I got to identify tall players a lot and give them a serving of said pie. So I talked to the Fusion Falcons. I had a word with their captains, Rodriguez or Ramirez, I believe. Sorry. And they said, okay, yeah, we know who this German team is. We know it's not exactly World Games, but we know, like right away they're like, we know that, where's that one girl? And I was like, Walczak? And they're like, yeah, we know her. We're excited to see her play and to play against her. So obviously they know that they've got a formidable opponent in front of them. And they want to stick to their game. They haven't even been able to really find a semblance of that offense yet. And that's the sign of a good opposition, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I think that so far the Fusion Falcons have just been trying to take some slightly ambitious inside breaks when I think at least at the start of the game they should be able to do a bit more with their legs rather than these ambitious throws, as we see another turnover there and a quick conversion.
Wow, these Germans are efficient. I've said that before. Bletchel with another goal, and that's a whole lot of goals really quickly into this game. We've got 46 minutes remaining. I've got a blip on my screen here, but again, as you noticed back at home, we're counting the other way on our clocks now here at ULTI.TV. Eat your heart out, Mike Palmer, who has been one of the...
How much longer can you hide? You can try and push away from me. You kick and scream, you're begging, please. But once you get a little taste of freedom, you wanna get up off your knees. Come over, don't fight how you really feel. Come closer to me. I'll give you something to believe in. Come over, don't fight how you really feel. Come closer, please.
And we're back in action. Fusion Falcons down almost a whole handful, 4 fingers worth of the hand. 4-0 Rabbits. What are they going to do?
Yeah, I think, as I said before, they just need to play something a bit more solid, make some bigger shapes. And I guess that's not a typical Colombian style, but at the moment they are really getting stuck in those small spaces. Maybe even just get something moving backwards to get it going forwards. Just get that movement going. So far they've turned over from static little insides or ambitious cross-field throws.
Their last 2 particular have been very early sequence turns, first or second throws. So, I mean, credit the German defense, but yes, they do gotta let's set up one cut. Okay, sequence 2 in a row, 2 or 3 in a row, but really let's isolate and identify. We need some completions to be our first line of success here to get things going. So there's a completion. Now let's see how they do against this zone defense, which the Germans deployed after the timeout that Fusion Falcons took. And not many options. They've got the big, look at this, the size difference on the mark there, Rabbits.
Yeah, another personal, very enjoyable play. Big man on the force.
Fusion Falcons continuing to make completions around Bletchel, the massive mark for the German side. But they're going, they're chipping away, chiseling away. I like that chisel cut. They're not yet ready to take any shots over the zone. They're still chipping through, and every now and again they bounce back and around. There's a little bit of a gainer over top, but now they wait for the zone to reset, and the Germans do maintain their zone right into the opposing end zone right now. Bletchel still on the mark, and nice throw there to break it up a little bit. Can they bounce the whole way? No, they're straight back to looking at a zone, and she's asking for the chisel. Instead, around, now forward, far near sideline. That's the 90 shirt of Fonseca. He moves it even closer, but still not in. 94 now, Zuluaga. Faking the scoobers, finally gives the overtop. Long jumped in, and they are on the board. That's their first. Fusion Falcons get one. Rabbits.
Yeah, I mean, just proving to themselves and to everyone else there that they can just complete all of these passes. Obviously a different offense against that zone look, but I still wouldn't be surprised to see that zone again from the Germans. It did force a lot of throws to be made, but again, Fusion Falcons proving they have those disc skills and they have the patience to have a really clean offense. Would love to see some more of that from them.
Yep, they're going to need a bit more of everything, but I mean, they would be thanking the German side for showing them a zone. As much as it was daunting to see the big man up front to get that Mr. Bletchel, it did give them a chance to, put these completions, as you said, to get a little bit of a rhythm, and in the end, a goal as well. Nice enough looking zone by the Germans. But, Fusion Falcons would have liked having that kind of breathing room after seeing all the match defense that stifled them to start.
Yeah, very true. We're seeing a lot of sort of taking away those unders in those match points earlier on, and Fusion Falcons struggling to find their way around it. So good for them to get that point on the board. Hopefully get something going here, see what their D-line can do. Another chance to see this German offensive line hopefully can have a bit of a cleaner hold than the first point of the game.
Well, German O-line is out there now. Metzger to Hugin. Now the under. Forster shoots for Volchak, but she's not there. Forster, of course, we recognize from Disconnection, one of the stronger mixed teams in contention, but again, are they still in contention while some of their key players are on national teams? So much changes on these Windmill rosters from week to week leading in. We'll talk about the changes of the Groot roster as well. We've made some predictions, not knowing how Groot was going to look, but when we get a break, we can talk about the way they will look, because they could be right back in form as contenders or maybe even favorites to win this tournament that they so frequently win.
Okay. Yeah, definitely get a lot of teams affected by it. Here we go, some good flow coming back in now from the Fusion Falcons, managing to work up this sideline.
Falcons, can they put another one in? Pato with the disc, breaks inside to the captain, all the way around Mona. Then they get one through just past Forster. Aritza, number 87, with the goal for Fusion Falcons.
That was number 91, Dubs there with the assist in his nice backwards blue hat. Love that fashion choice right there. Got to accessorize on the Ultimate Field, in my opinion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I was saying just in the last game, I'm not a fan of, well, I don't mind accessorizing, but it needs to be accessories that match the kit. I don't like the standout player. Look at me. I got an orange hat, so people will notice me on the screen. I understand it, but as a coach, that's not. I don't want the look at me kind of accessories. So we might sit on opposite sides of the fence on that one, Rabbits.
I mean, I guess if everyone does it, then no one's special, right?
That's right. That's right. And then it's a competition to see who can stand out the most. And then your uniform is playing second fiddle to the accessory game.
Yeah, that's why you often get rules of matching accessories at sort of the bigger tournaments. But yeah, it does look very good when a team is all matching. You often see it in maybe like Japanese teams where they all have the matching hat, glasses, you know, neck warmer.
Looks good, man.
Yeah.
You got to look good to play good. Yankees always win because everybody's caught staring at the pinstripes. But they're not winning this season. Blue Jays, baby. Tirana. Anyways.
Is that where it's at?
Well, I don't know. They're struggling now, too. The whole AL East is a difficult division, but enough about baseball.
We can carry on talking about kit, though, because the Fusion Falcons kit, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I would take one of those if they wanted to send one to the booth. If they brought an extra one with them, I would graciously accept one of your jerseys as a gift. Troutman to Walzak. She jams it through to Metzger. Now Beek, that one's moved very quickly thus far. She hangs off of that throw to Metzger wisely. Then dumps to Walchak. Walchak takes a bump, but she doesn't care. She's still running like the spark plug she is. Firster, enough room? No, there isn't. The sideline comes too quickly for Kuchel to be able to catch up to that.
Some really good flow there from the German offensive line. They caught the disc, held it for longer than a couple of seconds, and it broke down. I think it is tough to find that balance, but they were doing so well with that flow, and I think they did have the opportunity to keep that going. And Falcons with another break opportunity here.
Woo! And that was Kuchel, who couldn't get the last throw, who'd made up for it, even though it wasn't really his fault. But he took it upon himself to get the D back. Firster to Walchak. That one continued with the lefty and back into Firster for the goal. Germans do get the hold, but just not cleanly.
Yeah, you can see Walchak there taking over a little bit, wanting to run this offense. I imagine not happy with how they've done so far. They I'm sure, will be disappointed with the fact that they've turned on both of their holds. But, you know, it's early days yet. A great chance for them to build up those connections, figure out what's working for them, and build their way into this game and into this tournament.
Yeah, what you'll notice as our cameras pan from one end to the other, there is a camera set up on the opposite sideline as well. That is not a competitive live stream. Nobody would dare do that. But that is a documentary on the German national mixed team that is in progress, and we'll be looking forward to seeing that one when it comes out. Surely German language, but hopefully we get one version with an English subtitle over top of it, because I'd love to see the inner workings of this German mixed team and some of the experiential stuff that they're going to document there. It's great to have that kind of stuff in the sport.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed the Ranelagh documentary out of ULTI.TV. So if you haven't watched that already, highly recommend.
That's nice of you to recommend. We loved putting that one together. Oh, and Fusion Falcons get stuck in their own end. Carolina can't squeeze the hand, but the throw was a bit out in front, is fair to be said. Now 73-35. Erdmann with the goal out of the hands of Holzer.
Yeah, this German D-line absolutely ruthless on the turn, having less than 5 passes each time, if not less. Really efficient, and yeah, catching the Falcons, unable to set up any sort of defense, putting those easy breaks in, to be honest.
Easy. And as we said, Germans, in many people's minds, favorites for this tournament. I did pick them on our predictions contest to win this division, but this is a heck of a division. There is a lot of contenders here. Easy enough to stick your neck out to take them. It's not a, it's not a choice that would be questioned by too many. But there's 4, 5, 6 other teams you could pick. We were talking about Groot earlier. Mm-hmm. They lost badly in Bern 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever. One sleep ago, it seems like. But yeah, about 3 weeks ago. And, nobody seemed to be picking them out of the media team. But have you seen the women's side of their roster? some of the additions that may not have been there? Can I?
No, I
enlighten
don't
you?
think I have.
Well, Lola Dam, who we thought was taking a season off, is playing her home tournament.
Okay.
Paula Bass is playing with Groot this time.
Yeah.
Alicia Tizik is on the roster
Okay.
here. They could be a little bit better with just those 3 alone. Another turn. Fusion Falcons, and Turk picks up for the Germans. Firster right back to Turk, and wow, that was easy again. Newbert, 13 scores the goal, but it goes back to the number 21 Turk, because there must have been a
I think it's a pick.
pick called.
Again, we see the Germans just pick that disc up, and they do not mess around when it comes to this D-line offense.
Turk, and misses his engagement with Firster and gives it back to Fusion Falcons. Where's the deep cut? Nothing coming deep, so everything is right in front. And Columbia maybe need to spread it out a bit more. I know they like this motion style, give and go, and grind, like churn up the grass, but they've got to stretch out the space in front of the disc just a bit more, because the German defense is not giving much, and because of it, they had to shoot.
Yeah, they have some real athletes on this Fusion Falcons team, and as you say, they could definitely use those to stretch the field a bit more, because that would have been a good option if someone had been cutting for it.
Yeah, the early part there, I mean, it was only Firster back. I thought one of the boys was going to go for a run early and just, you know, test the option. That one a bit too far for Newbert, and Falcons get another try here. Yeah, from their own end.
The German D-line knowing they can only complete breaks in less than 3 passes, so had to huck the first one to get close enough.
Yeah, to increase the potential efficiency,
yeah,
but unfortunately increase the turnover count and inefficiency in the end. Fusion Falcons, and there's an injury on the field. There's an injury on the field. He is gripping his knee. Let's hope that he gets attention and more than anything is okay. He's calling the injury. He's most certainly coming off, but he's well enough to make the hand signal, so he's not in excruciating pain. That's good news.
Yeah, although, yeah, hopefully we'll be okay after that. Didn't look too outrageous, but I mean, you never know with injuries like that, so hopefully nothing too major there.
Airplanes overhead, coming and going. Amsterdam, the hub of the Netherlands, of course, and just a very wonderful city. I, of course, am running a series of food shows that will air later in the season, but I did get to eat all of Amsterdam 2 days ago.
Wow.
And it was it's pretty awesome. Yeah, you guys go check it out. It's not live yet, but my YouTube channel's up, Stef Pazzo. Like and subscribe over there too, why not? And you'll get to see all the wonderful Frisbee cities I visited and all the wonderful food I ate along the way.
There's plenty of stroopwafel, right?
The stroopwafel's coming up. Stroopwafel is what I learned. Stroopwafel.
Stroopwafel. Ah.
Yes, it's the double O is not pronounced like us Anglophones say it.
Can we see the German D-line offense get moving once again?
And they do cash it in there. They're just, you know, they're getting their chances, Fusion Falcons. That Turk with the goal there, number 21. They're getting their chances, but they're not able to generate too much. Again, credit a very stingy defense who's taking away all of their unders, knowing that, okay, these guys, if they're going to beat us, they're going to have to do it deep. But Colombians have thus far been very inefficient stretching the field.
Yeah, definitely just could use that chat. Just need to stretch the field a bit more here, guys. Because you do see the top Colombian teams, so in my eyes, I've watched Revolution play a lot, and they will get that offense moving in the backfield. They'll make a lot of passes, but then there is quite often that continuation opportunity there to really stretch the field at the end of the play. And yes, they do have the disc moving a lot in the backfield, but it does often end with a big shot to the end zone from a well-timed cut. Wolchuk, of course, playing on that Revolution team last year. So knowing those tricks also.
Yeah, Welchek has a little bit of, not Fusion Falcons, but Colombian style in her DNA now, in her Frisbee upload. She uploaded a little bit of Colombian playing. So she had a couple great uploads from last season.
Definitely.
And of course, we gave her a little bit of a commentary upload on the beach last week. We were glad to get her in the box and hear all about her experiences. Falcons up line, and great to hang on to that because the defense wasn't coming. Now 63 shirt, that is Carolina, dumps back to Villamizar. Oh, what a bid! Great forwarding there. Kuhn takes it away and throws the body on the line.
The German D-line just hungry for points here. They have had some very athletic plays so far, and a bit more of a field to work with this time, but already gobbling it up. We'll see what they're able to do. Oh, as there is a foul called on that wind up for the Huck.
Yeah, wide now was in good position. Maybe a veteran play to run through it there.
I don't know what you're talking about, Steph.
I mean, no intent to foul, but certainly, you might be able to slow it down, either being in front and, okay, maybe walking into a pivot. But did enough to at least reset the play, but Germans very quick to going back and forth, sideline to sideline. Turk to Firster, that's a connection within this German national team. Now to Turk again. Kuhn, the D-getter, shoots for goal. Newberg there, not quite in. Bletchel finishes the job. And the Germans score again. That's 8 on the board. Rabbits, they're running away with it.
Yeah, that's a very strong first half from the Germans there. As I've said before, the D-line is hungry to absolutely run away with this game, and so far, so good.
So far, so good indeed. Will we get a small break here? We're going to try and take a small break. It's halftime. We'll be back very soon. Don't you go anywhere. You can go somewhere if you want, Helios. Actually, no, you're too busy. How's it going, Helios? It's good. I'm going to use these tabs for this over.
We believe mixed is the best for the sport, for the world. That's why we're making a global showcase, starting in Europe, made in Amsterdam. ULTI.TV. ULTI.net.
And we're back after the half. It's been all German mixed team here in the first half. 8-2. Anything that jumps out at you there, looking into these stat lines, Rabbits?
I'm just looking at, obviously, the German D-line rolling a couple of times, but the Fusion Falcons, when they did get that hold, they did come right out with a break. And to be honest, the German offensive line has been struggling when they've been out on the field, so it would be good for them to have more of a chance to build those connections during this game. This is a great time to do it early in the tournament, because the D-line can be very, very happy with their performance, but I think the O-line will be slightly disappointed so far with what they've been able to do.
Yeah, Marvin Bletchel, the big fella, has been having a game. 3 goals to his name. Danny Turk, a goal and a block. Walchak, goal and an assist. But reasonably well spread. I guess Severin Kukol, help me with that pronunciation if you like. But he's got himself 2 blocks, which is huge to go with his goal as well. So German side spreading it around. German side getting the lion's share of opportunities. And the German side looking like they're going to put their foot down unless Fusion Falcons can severely turn the tides here.
Yeah, we do have the Fusion Falcons coming out on offense for the second half, so see what they can do. Got the whole field to play it down. Again, we've been talking about how it would be great for them to be able to stretch a little bit more, but they have been finding their flow at some points in this game, so see if they're able to do that during this point.
And there's another Troutman pull. That could find the sideline. Just out of bounds. Chance to brick for the Falcons. You know what a falcon is in Australia?
No, I don't.
It's if you get hit in the head with something that when you're not looking. So if you cop a disc in the head, even you've been falconed in Australia, or they'll just say, falcon, mate. Something.
You sure that's what they're saying?
Huh?
You sure that's what they're saying? It's not just something that sounds similar?
No, I'm sure. I was there long enough to get full analysis on that one. I've definitely misinterpreted a lot of Australianisms the same, but that one that's with validity. And as we're talking Falcons, the Falcons cough one up and the German mixed team go the other way. Vanderholm. The chat's calling for a highlight reel for Vanderholm. Let's see if he can provide one for us here. Thyssen. To Vanderholm. Now's his chance to make a highlight maker. Now he's just directing traffic, looking for the reset. Breaks, and is that a foot block?
A hand, a long arm.
The long arm of the law. The captain gets the hand on that one.
Scoops that up as well. Ramirez wanting to put the team on his back here.
That boy Ramirez doing it for the viewers at home, but he's now played the field position game on that one because the turnover was inevitable, but goes out in the other end at least.
Yep, make this German D-line work all the way down the field, but so far they have shown that they are able to do both. They can put in the quick turns and they can work it down the field. During this point so far, Thyssen has been running the show, so see if she's able to continue that.
Inside break for Germany. Ooh, the defense was coming, but not quick enough. Pick called? Yes, it is a pick. So going to come back into play in the hands of Vanderholm. And we're back. Vanderholm not having his MVP moment on this point.
Block there from Jorge Rico.
Now Falcons with a short field. Center it. Dubs. Goes to middle again, playing in the middle of the field. Carolina. Now Mona. Mona, another one of the captains for the Falcons. Long discussion here. Which continues.
I guess just deciding whether that pick is valid, whether she was within the 3 meters required, or
the old didn't affect conversation, but this one clearly did affect because it's gone back. Shot for goal. Bit of a gratuitous layer to cash it in, but it looks nice to put one on the board, throwing your body around, doesn't it?
Yeah, Dubs there with his second stat of the game, doing good work for the Fusion Falcons. See what they can do again. As I say, last time they held their offense and they came right back out with a break. So see if they can have another go at that.
30 minutes remain. Fusion Falcons down by 5. There is plenty of time to climb back in it. They've found their way there. Not necessarily getting into a rhythm, but a bit of perseverance, sticking, grinding out those multi-turnover points, taking a bit of advantage of the field position and the Wenderholm error there to, cash one in, bounce it sideline to center, and back to the cone. Back to the corner cone to score.
Yeah, you see once they get that disc moving, it looks so much better from the Fusion Falcons. And yeah, able to finish that with a nice around break to the cone. But as we've mentioned before, German O-line, great chance for them to dial in those connections on this point. I am confident that they will have had a chat at halftime and said, we must be putting in clean holds against this team. So put that pressure on themselves, but that's great practice for those big pressure moments. So see what they're able to do.
Yep. And of course, we're bringing you stats every time we can. We are happy to have Helios Holznitsky, who you saw in a 99 shirt at EBUCC playing for Solaris. Now we've got him changed to the chair here, having the pleasure of getting his stats. So happy to have new members of our team as well. Ever-expanding ULTI.TV Nation, which needs your ever-expanding support. And the deep shot goes, and wide open are the two receivers there at the other end. Firster goes to Beek, and there's a call on the play. Was there a pick somewhere? Because there was a dropped assignment there.
I think it might just be a travel on the front of the end zone here. On the reception from
Firster.
From Firster, perhaps just took the momentum into the end zone and didn't set a legal pivot point. But as we see there, exact same pass for the goal.
And Germans make it look easy. They got it up to Holzer at midfield. He found the wide open Firster, and even with defense catching back up, it was just so much space. One person to isolate, no trailers, no oncoming traffic to get in the way. That's how wide open the deep was that set up that play.
Yeah, it was quite a good find there to look across the field and sort of switch the play back up, having slashed across from the far side to then send the huck all the way over to that opposite third, but really well led into that space. Much cleaner from the German offense.
Yep. Having a look at some of the families getting around Windmill. Such a wonderful tournament. I get excited. Like we've been here for 2 days in the lead-in, and it feels like it started yesterday, even though the games only just kick off today. But the vibes get going early at Windmill. The big top going up, the inflatable elephants. ULTI.TV's got so much in store for you. We got drones flying and chasing coming soon. Stay tuned for that. We got a lot of sideline action. We're going to bring you, get these cameras as tight up as possible on the superstars so you can see their nostril hairs as we get to know them better throughout the course of this weekend. That's how close we want to be, Rabbits.
Love it. Oh, here we go. I think we maybe see some sort of a zone out of the German D-line. Yeah.
It is. It's not the same one we saw last time, but a zone for sure. And the bigger defender lost position, but they both were reading each other, and neither the disc for at least the last 5 or 6 steps there.
That's unfortunate for Falcons. They would have been really nice for them to capitalize on that opportunity. But here we see their O-line defense once again. See if they can put some pressure on this German D-line, who have been so far pretty efficient with their breaks, as we see them setting up in a side stack.
Holzer calling out his ambitions, and the first ambition was a Troutman under. Now the 9 shirt, it's Tim. Tim goes back. Baumgart to Holzer.
Troutman too free there in the end zone. Too much space. She gets the under though.
Troutman again. Near sideline, about 10 meters out as Troutman again and gets the leading throw. That one down. The 4 shirt of Thyssen gets the assist. And Germany back on the board to Holzer.
Yeah, as I said, Thyssen really doing a good job on this. Whenever her line is getting the disc, she's able to be in the right place, make those good decisions. Very impressed with her performance so far. And we'll shout out Trautmann as well. They've been putting in a great shift so far for this German team. Getting free, making good decisions. It's just exactly what you want from a player on a team like this.
Both of them as per expectations. German national teams benefiting from some exceptional depth across the German club teams. You know, they haven't won a club championship on the European level for a while. They've won a few tournaments, but you know, you get Jinx and Seagulls at the top of it, but still it's not just limited to that. There's the Heidi's clubs, they've got the Disconnection clubs, they've got the Erdferkel, Hashler. There's so many teams that they can draw from. And then on the men's side, it's probably even more, the open side, even more. So when these, you know, the mixed club here has a whole bunch of players in the open division, but having again at the top with Wall City, Heidi's after having an exceptional year last year, Bad Skid that have been around for a very, very long time. And those are just the top 3. Then you go into the Boras and the Frisbee Bears. And again, the depth in Germany at the elite end is probably second to none. I would have to say they've got the most teams that are bringing players up to the elite level in Europe to be able to form some pretty tidy national teams.
Yeah, as we see again, this German back to the sort of more of the cup type zone with not quite as big of a force, but it does the job, and the German D-line gets the turn once more and gets that flow going.
Just huge pressure on the throws. They're putting 4 in the box. Wallace goes back to Turk. And Turk looking to, goes back to Wallace. Center's there. Now to the 11 shirt, that's Kuhn. And there we go, Kuhn gives and gets. And another one on the board. That is 11 for Germany to 3 from the Fusion Falcons.
Yeah, once more, the German D-line just pick that disc up and get it moving, and don't get stuck, and put it easily in. Finally, with that strike up the line into the front cone, just nice, clean offense. And I'm noticing just the Germans seem to really just be using their athleticism to just win their matchups so far, just able to just outrun their defenders in a straight line and score with those upline cuts, which, you know, very useful for games like this. It'll be interesting to see later in the tournament if they're able to still use their athleticism. I know they definitely have some players, the likes of Trautmann, who have proven they can win those isolated battles, but be really good to see them battle hopefully later in the tournament against some teams that will maybe put a bit more pressure onto their offense.
As we said, this it's not going to take too many games till they start to get some games that will pressure them. Of course, in the mixed division, when you just talk about national teams, the likes of Ireland, GB, France, I could have a look at the list. There are a handful of others, but those 3, of course, major contenders. And then, Groot, Reading, Disconnection. We got a great tournament on our hands. This thing is going to be wild and shaken up. We're going to bring you as much action as is humanly possible. Fusion Falcons, Vilamitsar, looking at that same zone, hammers. And his 2 compatriots keep things moving. It's Platz. Now to the 56 shirt. Rico. Yeah, looked for the chiseling dump, but coming in too hot to put it in the breadbasket.
Yeah, the German team really just knowing that all the Falcons want to do is those little chiseling pop passes, nice short stuff, not really putting any pressure on the more expansive throws. But when you see the Falcons take those options, it's working for them.
No, Macked into the hands of Furster, and then wide over to Wallace. A little bit of luck on that one to keep it alive, but you got to be good to be lucky.
Yeah, I think that Furster knew that was a possibility there. She was ready for that Mac, so you got to be switched on to capitalize on those opportunities. And as you say, some might call it luck, but definitely need to be in the right zone to be saving Max like that.
Absolutely, the reaction there, fantastic. Cat-like reflexes by Furster. And 12-3 now. Have a look at the score. Look at those fancy overlays there. Those things look beautiful. Force Ultimate, of course, supporting our ongoing pursuit of greatness in the graphics department. And we're very happy to have Force on board with us to help bring you some swish-looking graphics like that.
Yeah, really, really nice stuff. I was going to make a shout out to a play from last week at EBUCC from Nikki Prian. She's on this roster, but I don't think I've seen her around.
I don't think I have either, Lisa. And the shout out is, of course, for that reactionary play that she made.
Absolutely unbelievable catch. Definitely go back and watch the final from the mixed division.
Oh, what a final that
last
was.
Week.
And
really
yes,
entertaining game.
Yeah, that play you talk about, one of the highlights of the final, though there were many.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, it was so impressive, yeah, for anyone who hasn't seen it. The disc was a bit wayward to one of her teammates, and as he sort of reached back, he ended up flinging it quite, I don't know, with quite a lot of speed and a lot of wobble back at her as she bid towards the disc and scooped it up off the floor. Yeah, very impressive play there. But highly recommend watching that game if you haven't already.
Yes, go and watch. Always free, always online on our ULTI.TV YouTube channel. Do that right now. Hit the like button for this game. Then if you haven't subscribed, you could be doing that by now because you've already liked. And then maybe after the game, don't miss any action, but then go be a patron if you've not done that. Fusion Falcons. Ooh, and they cannot string them together right now. They're getting one or two, and the German pressure just too much. They've got no open options, and the mistakes keep coming.
Yeah, that's a shame because the Falcons there did manage to expand the field a bit more. They weren't clogging too much. Just that personal error, unfortunately, from Juanes Fonseca. As we see this German offense once again.
Baumgart set it off to Turk. Now Troutman comes under. Up to Baumgart. Looks good to me. It most certainly is. Baumgart with the goal. Troutman dropping dimes. And the Germans have 13. Looking sharp throughout.
So I wonder, what were your thoughts, Stef, on you've got this first game here where in the Swiss draw format, the difference between winning 15-3 and 15-5 will sort of affect who you end up playing in the next round. Do you think any teams think about that?
It's tough to. You should be. But, I mean, when you're winning, do you really think about how much you're going to win by? When you're losing, how much is an acceptable? Like, you just want to get better when things aren't good, and you just want to stay good when they are good. But, yes, players hopefully not, but teams like the German national team that has a sideline full of coaches, you would hope that they're paying attention there. They're making sure if they're getting close to the finish line and not able to close it out, they take that chat and, probably not bring it up like, hey, we need this to get better draws, but, hey, let's get back on the pace, business as usual, but we need to maintain our gap.
Yeah, because definitely as the team, on the losing end, at a Swiss draw, you're always saying every point counts, right? You want to be at least putting your next hold in and trying to fight back as much as you can because, to finish higher in this format, every point does really matter. But just I've never really considered from the other side whether it's worth thinking about. But I guess. Yeah, and another just slight miscommunication there. But I guess you win by as much as you can, and that puts you in good standings, and then you get to play against one of those other top teams nice and early.
That's
test
it,
yourself.
and you do want that. You want to like get to the top and stay at the top. I mean, it's fine to work your way up through the brackets, but the further up you are, the easier your brackets round becomes. And Wallace shoots for goal. Firster's there. That one's in. They're 1 point away from ending this one.
Yeah, really well weighted shot there from Wallace. Just efficient movement from the Germans, and you can see the athleticism there is just getting them free all over the field. The Falcons unable to answer the Germans here. But they will definitely be saying, let's at least get this one more point for Falcons. There's a great thing about the Swiss format is there's no reason to take a foot off the gas at any point. They will want this point. It does matter.
And I mean, there's some argument that Fusion Falcons might say, all right, let's take the lopsided loss and get a very different opponent
It's very true.
the next time around. We had to start this one in the jaws of the German teeth here, in the teeth of the German jaws, rather. But, yeah, they wouldn't mind escaping that, I would say, and get some competition that are a little bit more on par with what their roster can put out. And, you know, the difference is not much. You play a powerhouse team and you're made to look, you know, weak with a big score gap. But, you know, 3 or 4 teams in between, 4 or 5, they can start swinging with teams that have just a little less octane than this.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned a few of those teams earlier. You've got sort of the 4 national teams and probably a pretty clear top 5 of the division. Although saying that, there are some other teams that could cause upsets. This Canadian team, the Farmer Browns
yes.
in-house, I reckon they might do some upsets.
Look, we saw them walking by earlier, touting the maple leaf, the Canadian flag. No doubt about it there, eh, bud?
I'm excited to see what they can do. They've got a couple of not pickups as such, but the likes of Molly Wedge and Sam Cameron, who have been massive players in the UK scene, playing for them, hailing from that Canadian setup. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see if they could possibly make some interesting stuff happen towards the end of this tournament.
Throw their hat in the ring for contention. We'd love to see it. More contenders make for better finishes to this tournament. That one is gobbled up by Turk, and a bit of contact injury called. Not sure if the foul call is going to come. Definitely the injury call. She felt the elbow on the back of the head there. That's Barrera, who took the brunt of that. Maybe she didn't call injury because she seems to be staying out there.
No, just wanting to discuss that contact there, I think. Happy to let it go, but maybe just take a moment to compose herself as we see possibly the last offense for this German side.
Turk was thinking about ending it in one throw, but opts not and goes underneath to Kuhn. Turk now centering wide now. First for goal. Newbert can't get there. She chucks her body to the ground, and in doing so, lost the disc.
Yeah, a little bit of an awkward catch would have had to be made there. So that weird height where you don't quite need to bid, but you also can't quite crouch down for it. So, another athletic catch from the Falcons.
Falcons setting up now. Barrera goes backwards to Ramirez. And that throw to Rincon is just behind him and goes through the hands. Now Turk, and they like that one. I knew they were going to throw that one. And, well, why wouldn't you when you've got a receiver like that hanging around in the end zone space? Bletchel, as soon as he started running, you knew that pass was going up right there. And it counted for the win. Germany put the Fusion Falcons away. They get the first game win. And a bit of an unbalanced affair, as we said, but nice match to watch nonetheless, wasn't it, Rabbits?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of good stuff from both sides. You could see moments of flow from the Falcons, but just some unrelenting pressure from the German D-line. I do think is a bit of a shame for the Germans to not get to run their O-line out a bit more. I think that they're going to have a test in the next game, because the way the Swiss draw works, this will be a big jump in opponent. So, yeah, we'll have to see what they're able to do in the next game.
Well, we're looking forward to that. We will get out of here because we've got to set up our Swiss draw and find out who's next. Thank you all back home for being with us here on ULTI.TV. I've been Stef Pazzo with Jamie Rabbits. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be right back with you very soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.
So this is the women's field?
Yeah, next up.
Did that switch?
No, it's not necessarily going to be open on Saturday and women's on April Day.
Okay, that's what so then our